can we take 30 seconds to acknowledge my look is kind of decent, right? Got some volume in the hair.
Wait, but
Yeah,
you're
you're looking
all
great.
blown out now. What's going on?
Oh, this is the other camera.
Oh, this is the bad one. Okay.
But
so it
also,
won't look
your
like this.
hair's like a little too on your face right now.
I like it.
Like one of these.
He's got like a little swoop going.
It just looks like you haven't
there
showered.
I am.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hilarious, because this is what I look like with the shower. So poofy.
The hairstyle to me is Davis from the Warp Zone. It's like
Oh, I'm Davis, which is a lovely
Yeah.
compliment.
yeah, like you put your head under Davis's hair.
Actually, yes. It's just slightly darker Davis hair.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to OGSoG Podcast Mafia. I almost tripped up saying the name there, but we got there.
We got there.
So yeah, today, we got a range of topics, but before we talk about any of those, we should probably talk about the rules and then some other house cleaning stuff. So the rules of the game go as such. Every single person in the game is either going to be a foolish mortal, or one of us is going to be the secret OGSoG murderer that we don't have a name for yet.
Dun, dun,
Every single...
dun. Do we
Dun,
have
dun, dun, dun.
Do we have sound effects yet?
I don't...
Not live, in post,
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe the sound effect could be added there. Paco?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Each person in the round is going to have a kill phrase, or the phrase that slays, as we like to say.
The
is,
phrase that slays.
Did laser corn come in really hot for anyone else or just
Yes.
me? Scared the
He
shit
really
out of
likes
me.
it.
You want me to turn my mic down?
It's funny because he's always the quietest person in our Discord.
You told me my mic was too quiet, so I turned up the gain. Am I too loud now?
So every single
Split the
person in the
difference.
round that is a foolish mortal will have a phrase associated with them, and if the killer says that phrase, then that person will be dead. And after the round is over, that will be revealed to have happened, and then everyone else is going to have to try and deduce who the secret OGSoG was. So, for instance, if we're talking about Star Wars and I wanted to kill Joven, and his phrase was like, Luke Skywalker sucks. And if I said that during the discussion, then Joven would be dead. So that's the way the game works. If you're watching this on YouTube, guess what? There's a whole lot more. You can catch a lot more, an extended cut over on Patreon. We also do Q&As, reacts, a bunch of other fun stuff over there. So check that out, patreon.com/OGSoG. Am I missing some stuff? I think
Just what is the OGSoG podcast? What do we talk about here?
we talk everything geeky, nerdy. No, what, what
I
did
wonder if
you
I can
used
still
to
do
say?
it. We go over all things superheroes, video games, comic books, TV shows, all things geeky here in one place.
Got his full intro. No, we I mean, I feel like we talk about
That's
typically gaming stuff, but there's pop culture. There's sometimes we talk about old people things, like whether we like new slang.
Our old jobs.
I don't know who keeps putting those topics in the doc where this topic's like, this new slang is terrible. These kids sound like idiots. Some grumpy old man just keeps giving us topics like that.
Yeah, and those Patreons are worth it. I think, let's see, by the time this goes up, 2 weeks ago, it was like a 30-minute YouTube episode, but the actual episode was an hour and a half, 30 minutes longer than normal. So our extended stuff goes long. And then we had our Family Feud, was like a 50-minute video, or a 30 on YouTube. So we're trying to make sure that you guys on Patreon have top-tier content.
Top tier from top people, if I do say so myself. The three of these other guys, they're all top people.
Top tiers
I
of the
always thought it was more of a
kingdom.
bottom.
Top tiers
Okay.
of the kingdom.
As we are waiting to hear whether or not we are the secret OGSoG, is what franchise, it could be film, TV, game, book series, whatever you want, would make a good TCG, trading card game?
Okay, I'll go first because I'm not too familiar with TCGs. I don't play them regularly. So I feel like I'm going to have a short answer. I like playing the Commander deck series stuff with you guys because it's 4 players. And so it made me thinking about like what games I like have strong factions. And for me, it's Fallout because there's a bunch of like wacky factions. I was thinking of like the Kings, who are a bunch of like Elvis impersonators, and like there's mutants. There's like Kaisar's Legion and the NCR. So I think something with like factions and stuff like that. I think I'm on the right track with TCG type of things, but I'm also not an expert in this category. So yeah,
No, I think that's great.
Okay.
I want to get Mari into TCGs like 3 different times. She's like, I'll play Magic with you guys.
I
We
like
played with her, yeah,
playing it. I like
Yeah.
playing it. I don't like staying invested in keeping up with it because there's so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
But I feel like the commander decks are a lot less involved because there's no like there's not like booster packs and stuff like the regular game,
it's
right?
great because it's like a simple, it's like here's everything that you need to play the game. Sometimes the decks are overly complicated, and you spend the entire game learning because every card is different, but it is a very fun format.
I just feel like it's more self-contained in the sense like I don't have to learn everyone else's cards too. And that's how I feel about regular Magic, where it's just like you have to know everything. But with the commander decks, I'm like, oh, I just need to know what my deck really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Now we're making our own TCG right here, right now. So you'll be at the ground level. You'll learn all the cards as we make them.
So wait, what was your? Oh, you said Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah, that's good. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. This was a top of mind because of a topic that we did, potentially weeks ago now. Maybe it was last time. I don't know. Twisted Metal. And I was basing this idea off of the least liked Twisted Metal for the PS3, because
the last one, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people are probably like, well, how would you make a Twisted Metal TCG? There's like 12 characters or something. So I think like you would have like lesser minions that were like, members of Sweet Tooth's gang or Mr. Grimm's gang or whatever, and then you would have your like kind of commander hero card, which is like the whichever of the gang leaders that you decided to play, and you could like fuel for the mana. That's what I was thinking. As much fuel as you needed to like play the card. The bigger, stronger cars cost more fuel to play.
Car cards.
Attach weapons to the different cars.
Yep, exactly. You can.
Okay.
Yep, you can, and you can. There would be like the normal weapons you could pick up. Yeah, like fire missiles and
See,
like.
this is exciting because this reminds me of a time in like the late 90s, not even mid 90s, where every video game had a CCG. Killer Instinct had a CCG. That's when the wrestling card game came out.
What's the difference between a TCG and a CCG?
CCG is collectible card game, right?
Yeah, and
CCG
T
is
is
tradable.
Trading card game. So I think
I don't know the difference.
So like Hearthstone would be a CCG, right? Because you can't trade.
Right.
Producer Paco,
I
you're
thought
deep in that
is-
world. Is there a specific definition?
I thought the difference
no
was
idea.
that so I could be wrong about this, but there's a kind of game that's like similar to Magic where everyone has access to all the cards always. Like you don't have to, but that wouldn't be collectible because then you don't have to collect them. Yeah, I don't know the difference either.
I feel like I came across this and it was an LCG.
Okay.
What?
What does the L stand for?
Is this a joke?
I don't. No, it's not. It's not.
I actually know this. LCG is a living card game. There was a Game of Thrones card game that was considered an LCG.
Gotcha.
Oh, is that like Marvel
wait,
Snap?
what makes it living?
It's made
Because
by
the cards
organic
themselves
materials.
could change.
The cards are made out of skin.
All of us have Google, but none of us want to switch windows for the fear of like
All right,
stopping
hold
our
on.
recording.
Let me see. CCG versus TCG. Here we go. TCG is sometimes known as... Oh, they're both the same. TCG is sometimes known as a CCG,
Okay.
or collectible card game.
Okay. Well, what's an
LCG
LCG?
means living card game. Term is trademarked by Fantasy Flight Games and only applies to their property.
Oh,
right.
Interesting.
So
All right.
never use LCG. Okay. Who is up? Was that the end of your?
Mine was Twisted Metal.
Yeah. All right. I'll go next. So
Sounds pretty aggressive of Lasercorn
Yeah.
to just want to go ahead before me.
Jovin's really mad about last round. He's probably going to vote for me. That's fine. So mine is Dino Riders. Listen, there's the Valorians and the Rulats.
To the viewers and listeners, I swear we know other games and other TV shows. We really
No, we
It's
don't.
a joke. It's a joke. I will continue to bring up Dino Riders in every video
Until we get that
they make
well-deserved reboot.
a game or a movie or even a rebooted show. Yeah, I'll take anything. But that's not my real answer. That was a joke. And I'm going to go with, and it's a little bit obscure, but Carnival Row. Has anyone seen that show?
Yes.
So
Orlando frickin'
Really?
Bloom.
Oh, I should have known Mari has seen it because of our
Yeah, I think Mari and I did
Orlando
brand
Bloom
deals for it.
thirst.
Yeah, super thirsty.
But
Like a
With Cara
fave.
Delevingne.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's half face.
Don't
So
mind me Googling pictures of Orlando Bloom real quick.
So there's
Like
there's
that
different
sound.
races, which are kind of cool in this one, and there's like even half Fae and stuff where he had a Fae mom and then a human dad. So there's a lot of different races you could work into the game. There's werewolves and stuff like that. I think there's even trolls, and then there's cool factions. Like the one faction kind of uses a mix of kind of the bad guys that fought against Orlando Bloom in the war, use like a combination of technology and then like intentionally infecting their own troops with like werewolf virus to make like super troops and airships and stuff. And I just think it would be a really cool setting for a TCG, even though there's a ton of kind of fantasy settings already. That one was a little darker than your average fantasy setting, and I thought it was cool.
Very different aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's a really good answer, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You just won her over with Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening to what you were saying. I was just looking at pictures of Orlando Bloom, but still, it's a very good answer.
She's like photoshopping an Orlando Bloom CCG card together right now. Sexy Orlando Bloom.
Like, are there any other characters other than Orlando Bloom? No.
Have you seen his episode of Extras?
No.
No.
Oh man,
I do like that show though.
Yeah, Extras is a fun show. Orlando Bloom has a hilarious episode. Unless I'm like thinking of the wrong. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he has this hilarious episode, and the whole thing is he's just jealous of Johnny Depp. Like the whole episode is like, and he's like trying to act like he's not. That's basically
What is
like, the whole
this show Extras?
Basically, every episode features on like
You've
a
seen the
star.
Liam Neeson or Patrick Stewart.
No, I've never heard of the show.
Oh,
So it's really funny. So
Oh, it's a Ricky Gervais show?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they play extras on like a film set, and every episode centers around like one star. And so like there'll be extras on so and so's movie, and it's just like centers around them and the antics that ensue on the set.
that's
with the
funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything Ricky Gervais.
Well, now that everyone has been able to speak and we've gone on some other tangents, I
Joe
feel
was a
like
killer.
now is a non-aggressive time.
He's so
to put
mad
in-
about last round. He's so mad.
So I actually have put a lot of thought into this. For those of you that know or don't know, I am currently working on a board game, and in that board game, I'm going to use some technical terms here.
Man, huge red flag. But what, he did it twice in a row? Jesus.
I'm gonna use some technical terms for you, those of you who aren't making board games currently.
Well, no, it's like I think Soinki gets this, like top down and bottom up design. So I built a board game that is top down design, where you take your theme and then you build mechanics around it. But it's much harder to do a bottom-up design where you create your mechanics first and then attach to it. Now, Magic the Gathering does both. So in order to do both successfully, you need to have enough lore and enough IPs in order to make both work. I think the video game that has the most to pull from is Final Fantasy. Because you can pull from different games, you can pull from the MMO worlds, you can have complete expansions based off of one game. You can have, every game could be a different expansion. You can then go into, if you want to do one expansion that matches the mechanics, or you can do one where it's like, everyone loves Final Fantasy VII. Let's really make this one feel flavorful. And
They
then
could have
you
a
start,
Disney edition where they just add in Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse.
No!
actually a Kingdom Hearts expansion.
Kingdom Hearts.
Actually,
Make some money. That's really good.
It would, because so much of TCG has to do with the aesthetics of a game, or the aesthetics and like what the artwork looks like, and that would really do
Yeah.
well.
The most
Jeez.
successful financial Magic the Gathering sets are the ones that are built, top down. The ones that are bottom up are the least popular, but normally have the best mechanics that stick around.
All
So you
right.
need something that can do both, and I think Final Fantasy fits it. Give
You
me
done talking
my
about top down, bottom up?
That's the way we like to make card games.
I was gonna say, is this a sex thing? But
no.
the joke was too obvious. But thank you I'm glad someone did it though.
All right. OGSoG, who's a dead guy? Or
Oh, cameras
girl?
on, cameras on, cameras on.
The floor is littered with cards and sleeves and blood. You see the unmistakable corpse of Mari.
Dang.
Let's keep
It's
it going.
Joven again.
Let's kill Mari every time. Oh man.
As the person that's normally in that situation, it's not fun, and
Actually,
I will not abide by that.
It is kind of fun because you don't get accused this way.
Oh, that's
You
true.
can't accuse the ghost.
Well, I'm gonna do everything the opposite that I did last time.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak first, and I took no notes. I don't know what anyone said. I don't know who the killer is. Must be Lasercorn.
I don't know. You still seem.
I actually was also doing a terrible job of taking notes. The only thing I wrote down was Joven. I'm going to use some technical terms.
It was not smoothly worked into the rest of your thing. I'm gonna use some technical terms here, and then you took like a pause too. Yeah.
I took a pause because you guys were laughing.
And like killing Mari is such a Joven, like they'd never expect me to kill the same person twice type thing. The only note I had for Sahinki was lesser minions. Lesser minions, kind of a generic term that could be thrown into any answer about trading card games. And then my notes for Mari obviously don't matter. So yeah, I'm gonna use some technical terms as a huge red flag, and killing Mari twice in a row just seems like something Joven would do.
Rebut.
My butt is
My butt.
I don't know. I don't even think I have a rebuttal for this time around. I don't know. For literally the first thing that I said, yes, it was very prominent. I made a grand entrance with it, and I felt like this was my time to talk about a thing that I know very well. Even just thinking, like, look at every phrase that has slayed ever. Has it ever been anything as, I don't know, poignant as I'm going to use some technical terms?
Not poignant.
No.
It's not poignant.
No. What was the last one?
What they are is they're phrases that you could stick somewhere, anywhere in there, and that's something that
That is a phrase that stands out.
Any one of us could have used that phrase in our answers.
Yeah,
as
but
well
you
as-
didn't
as well
because
as
you don't
lesser
know board
minions.
games like I do. I think it was Lasercorn because I'm actually just hoping it's Lasercorn. I'm gonna be real honest because it'd be really funny if Paco picked Dino Riders as one of his phrases that slays.
He did not.
I would love to see some answers in the phrase that slays.
All right, time for votes.
I gotta vote for Joven again.
I think that you were being led on by Soinki, who has masterfully been able to pin it on me, but I'm definitely going to keep my vote on
because when
you.
you said I'm going to use some technical terms, I literally laughed. So I also picked up on that being a little bit.
You're
little bit
gonna
sus.
you're gonna
right.
feel so silly when you
My-
find out.
Maybe.
My real answer, is Lasercorn, but for the memes, I'm gonna vote Joven.
I hate your memes.
All right.
This is my least favorite episode ever. With some of my favorite topics too. I hate you guys.
Ghost vote. I do think it's not Joven, but the only notes I have are technical term, flavorful, top down, bottom up, and that's.
All of the first things that I said.
I don't know how you
Because,
put
yeah, I
in
got poignant.
flavorful. It's not point. You need to look up what
Yeah.
poignant means, and you
Yeah, I don't
need
know.
to.
That's the second time I've used it. I'm trying to make it work in context.
Well, so a lot of people think that poignant means like intellectual. It actually means like evoking sadness.
Sadness, yeah.
Oh. Well,
okay.
I feel very poignant.
I do feel like somebody is lurking in the shadows as the killer. I'm thinking maybe it's Sohinki, but I'm gonna vote Joven because
Three votes for Joven.
I'm just mad about technical term flavorful, top down, bottom up.
There's my old friend.
All right, Paco, who is the murderer?
The killer this round is allegedly poignant. It was Joven.
Twice in a row.
I did do a very bad job this time, apparently.
What was the phrase that slays? And please let it be
wasn't.
technical terms.
It was not technical,
not technical terms?
It
What
was
was it?
not. It was bottom up design. Like top down and bottom up design?
Bottom up design?
Yeah. And the
is
reason
it a
I
real-
chose
is
it
it a-
wasn't
is
to
it-
get Mari twice. I just really wanted to talk about game design because I think it's
Paco,
really exciting.
don't give me terms like that because I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, for once I
Better
used the
not-
difficult one that's given.
You better not give me shit. Yeah.
Every round, everyone chooses the easiest answer.
That's
I
true.
went difficult.
Paco usually does include one that's like, if this idiot doesn't know what these other
There
terms
should
are.
there should be like a prize for like using the most like one of the answers is marked with like a plus 10 points.
Oh, I like that.
It's like, hey, if you can pull off this kill, it's like a bounty. It's like
Oh
if you
my
can pull off this
God.
kill.
Dude, adding
Yeah.
a point system to this game would be so much fun. Like,
Oh,
It
what
would
if you
be.
get-
plus
Yeah.
5 for voting correctly, plus, yeah, we should work out a point
Yeah,
system.
and then the ghost can get some points for
Yeah, for getting
voting
the
correctly.
ghost vote. Cool. Yeah, we
And
should,
then you might want to kill the person that's in the lead so you could win.
yeah.
I think we're on to something. I think we're going to see an
Yeah.
evolution of Podcast Mafia.
We'll talk about this later.
Can
Yeah,
we
the
have
evolution.
a belt? I want a belt for
Yeah.
the ultimate season winners.
Thank you for watching this video here on YouTube, but also big thank you to all the people here on the side who are part of the Patreon family here on OGSoG. If you would like to join this and have your name here, go ahead and click that link down below where you can watch extended videos on Wednesdays and also the full video version of the podcast. So go, just click the link, see if you like what's there. Give it a little tickle.